Today we do a Sanctuary Guard Dragon deck profile, updated with 16 fucking crits. Let's just go into it. This is the kind of list that has been topping all over Japan, so let's go. For Sanctuary Guard Dragon, the reason I pick him over Arc is because this deck wants to finish on first stride, so getting that extra chance for a stride fodder is better than actually Arc's skill that you can keep using since you don't go into second stride. 1 Exceed, we run Wingull Brave and we only run 5 grade 3s. It's very easy to not have stride fodder. Luckily Wingull Brave can surge this one for us, and that way we do have our stride fodder. For Mega Shiny Blaster Blades, because he's obviously the engine of the deck, he restands for you, usually for sick numbers, along with Floral Paladin Flogel, which is a fucking insane critical trigger. For Liu basically searches for a Blaster Blade, and also you have a 19k attacker very often in the early game, which is just degenerate. For Benon, because going into Benon early game pluses you so hard and gives you a full field, and it's just ridiculous. 1 Blaster Blade Spirit, because with Wingull Brave it's actually very easy to have this as your second ride, and usually you will have 1 Benon in hand, so you can basically get this one with Wingull Brave, you get your 10k ride, then you go into Benon, get your Miron, and it's just very, very good. For Blaster Friend Bargle, for the Blaster name, meaning Wingull Brave is live, and also because Liu needs him as a booster to be 19k in the early game, it's very insane, and also to get his skill to find a Blaster Blade. For Blaster Lara, just for the Blaster name, you want Wingull Brave to be live at all times, so that's very handy. Usually you really want her to get that Blaster Blade Spirit, or maybe you just want her to look for that Exceed, whatever floats your boat at that moment in time. For Sisyllus, you only have 5 grade 3s, so you really want this stride fodder. 3 Miron, because like I said, Benon is degenerate, and this gives you draws. For Floral Paladin Flogel, the only reason Sanctuary Guard is still good right now, this one restands your Blaster Blade, and usually because of Regale, your stride, Blaster Blade is at really high numbers, so you just pump your Blaster Blade full of crits and then make it restand. A Flogel crit, because Flogel is Bay. A Liu crit, because Liu is Bay. Another Liu crit, because Liu is Bay. So I only have Flogel and Liu crits, which is very, very fun for me and my OCD. And yeah, you run 16 crits. Like I said, you just rush, wait for them to ride grade 3, and then you do your first stride and finish them on that. That's the goal of this deck. If you build it any other way and decide to go into the late game, you will just die because other decks have way better late games than we do. We excel on our first and second stride, but past that other decks have better engines, so we need to finish it before that happens. I've tested this build a damn long time, and the whole country of Japan seems to agree with me. Then Wingull Brave, the engine, she basically smooths out your rides. This makes the deck very, very consistent ride-wise. For Regale, the fucking most overpowered stride in the game, at least as a first stride. It just pumps up your front row to ridiculous numbers, and then together with Blaster Blade and Flogel, that gives you ridiculous shenanigans. You don't really need 4, you never go into 4, but that's the same for basically all the other strides in this deck. 2 Alfred, that's for when you're the sucker and ride into Blaster Blade Exceed because you didn't draw anything else and would lose otherwise. Never go into it though. Same for Alt Miles, same for Saint Blow. Religious Soul is kinda okay when you go into Exceed actually, so that's your more ideal ride. A Fetus when seriously everything goes wrong. A Myriad, basically your Regale but for Blaster. A Seabreeze if you want to punish people. And a legit Sword Dragon for if you're on Blaster and have a ridiculous field, but at that point you probably lost already. Regardless, we don't run heals, so we have room for all this crazy shit. If this was helpful, just go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more. Also, I create these playmats, so hit me up on Facebook if you need a design, and hope this was enjoyable for you. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have any remarks, and see you soon. Ciao.